of the publishing persuasion, of the publishing persuasion.
Ah, ah, ah,
She's pretty.
ah. You don't have this one, do you?
No, I don't.
I literally made Goose howl. I don't know if you can hear. My singing made him go
No.
like into howling mode. Okay, I just have to show you something though. This is your shrine right now. Here's your FG. Listeners, if you can't see me, I'm holding up my UK version of Carnival
hmm
Fantasticore. And now I am holding up a girthy stack of my small library of the Angela Montoya.
Yeah. The UK one's really pretty.
It's so pretty. I really love it.
Is it shiny?
Yeah, girl.
I'm jealous.
Is yours not
I'm
shiny?
jealous of you. My the regular version, like the OG version is not shiny. The Target exclusive edition is
Oh yeah.
shiny. Yeah, but I have to get the UK one. I think my friend Karen has the hookup and she's ordering me some. Although I did see on Amazon that you could get them like a the UK one
Ooh.
or something, like the
That's
paperback.
where I
So I
got
don't know. I'm
mine.
gonna have to. Okay, I think yeah.
Because
She's
I think she
pretty.
is pretty. I think because Australia is part of the Commonwealth, we probably get UK shit over US.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think Ophelia, our friend Ophelia, was looking into it, and I feel like
Yeah, she slid into my
oh, okay.
get. Oh, my microphone just dropped out. That's weird. Can you hear me?
She gave up. Yeah, I hear you.
That's so weird. It just died. Oh, there it is. It's like, it was very sad. It's got a little blue light and it kind of flickered and then it went red. It felt very apocalyptic for some reason. Probably because I'm watching
Oh
Fall.
no. Oh, I isn't that a good show?
It's so good. Sandra recommended it. I'm writing a YA at the moment that's like has dystopian vibes, but I want to lean into the dystopian more, and she recommended that one. And I was like, "Oh
Mm.
yeah." You know when someone recommends something and you're like, "It's going to be good," but I just kind of tucked
Yeah,
it away. And then the other day I was
yeah,
looking for something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be good," so I'll just chuck that on. And I was just like, "Oh." It just like dug
yeah.
into me, and like 5 episodes later, I was like, "It's so good."
No, I know. Like Fallout, it just like scratches something like in your brain of just like because it's like the the world building. It's also different, so unique, but also we get it. Like we're in the world, and then also like it's serious, but it's not like they don't take themselves too serious, so it's very funny at times. Like it's just like a great show.
So, so good. Can you still hear me? Because my mic's died out again. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. We're, listeners, it's been a while since we've had like a full episode recording.
Yeah.
And so we're just, we're a little rusty. We're a little rusty, but
Rusty.
welcome to Of the Publishing Persuasion, everybody. We are back in our 2026 era, which is super wild. So yay us.
Yay, us. It's like, what, 5 years of the pod? Almost?
Wow. Yeah, that seems right. That seems hard
I
to
used to
believe,
keep
but
close account of how long it had been. It's probably time for a new t-shirt, That's all I'm saying. I
oh
feel like
my
I used
gosh,
to get
yeah.
us a t-shirt every like new year, but it's an old relationship now. I let the ball drop. I didn't give you a
That's
gift this year.
true.
I don't
You
know.
don't even try anymore.
Dang it, I nearly sent you a mug the other day because Etsy had not Etsy, Redbubble had a sale on our merch, which our merch is just our logo
Oh,
right now. Shangela's not in there anymore. I deleted it.
she's not. Oh,
Well, she's been
that's
replaced.
sad.
But yeah,
That's true.
like
She doesn't even
four.
exist anymore.
Oh my God, you threw her out?
Yes.
Wow. Wow, I don't know if the listeners knew that. This
She's,
would affect ratings.
I know. I just had to check and make sure. Yeah, she died.
Oh
She
my
died a while
God.
ago. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Just got too
Probably a
much
year
for her.
ago.
Oh my God. You strategically like got us used to the plastic tree there, and then you just slowly edged the camera away from Shangela so I wouldn't notice. Okay.
Yes, I figured I'm not gonna tell. I never told you before because I didn't want to make you sad about Shangela. But yeah, sadly, she didn't make it. She
Pass.
didn't
Should
make
we
it.
say some words
Yeah.
or something? Angela,
It's okay because you were a hell of a plant. You really tried.
not hard enough.
Not at all. At least I still have my mug, you know, my precious gem of a mug.
I think that's what
So,
I
with
want to
Shan.
change because I'll get us one with the new logo on it when there's a good sale. I think we deserve our new logo.
Yeah,
But how have
like
you been, my friend?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
been a busy couple of weeks since I talked to you last.
I know.
I was gonna come on here and complain about everything, but we just had Alexis on, who just spoke magic, and now I have nothing to
You
complain about.
can.
Now,
Come on. You can still complain. Both can exist. As we understand from Alexis's book title, the safeness can exist alongside the darkness. You know, it doesn't have
oh,
to be
that's good.
sunshine and roses if it's been a shit week, you know?
No, that's good. That's good. That's good. No, but I mean, but the truth of the matter is, I don't have anything to complain about. Everything has been really amazing. I think like for me, I was building up so much to pub day, and
Mm,
I was like kept telling myself, "Oh, you have to make a list this time." Like, "Oh, this is gonna be like embarrassing if you don't make any bestseller lists." Like, you work so hard. Like my brain was just like, "Oh, if you don't do it, like this is it." And so when the day came, and obviously I didn't hit any like bestseller lists, I was feeling like, "Oh, dang it." Um, but the but I do have to cut myself some slack because there was so many humongous books that
yeah,
came out on February 3rd. There were so many like humongous. And yes, Carnival Fantastico is a big book too.
it is.
But there was like huge books in my genre that came out on that very day. So I have to cut myself slack and honestly like for since pub day, like I have received a lot of really great reviews and people are really excited about it, and there's so much more to be excited about than that one thing. But it is like
Yeah,
it is a weird place to be in, like the darkness and the light of like I should just be grateful that this is where I'm at in my journey. I have three whole freaking books out, not including the anthologies and everything. However, it's like, I think I'm just like getting into my head of like, okay, I have three books now. Are my publishers gonna start not wanting to continue if I don't like sell big? So that's where my brain is like, business. What was that? Did
that's
I just hear an animal?
that's Goose crying.
Okay.
She can hear a dog outside. That's the first time you heard her after all these years.
Yes. Yeah.
Because usually I'm like, can you hear Goose? And I like cancel it out. She's sooking in your den, in your goddamn den. Auntie Montoya's speaking words. Um,
No, that was Goose telling me it's okay, you know?
it is okay though, and I think that's the thing. Like, I feel like we're always so hard on ourselves about this, and like, I've been feeling like a similar thing in terms of like, I was also like, oh my God, I haven't sold yet, and like completely like I don't know, losing my joy over the fact I actually finally got an agent.
Mm,
I feel like this is just gonna be a constant check-in for all of us, you know? And
yeah.
don't be too hard on yourself though, because the whole thing is we're striving for the next step. So when the next step
Yes.
doesn't happen,
Yes.
it's like so like valid and okay that you would feel some type of way about it because that's what you were striving for. But I think that like it's
Yeah.
such a testament to like what a like strong, well-rounded person you are that you can also be like check that and be like, well, not this time, but I can keep working towards that, you know? Like it's just,
Yeah.
but it's hard. It's still fucking
It is
hard
hard.
when you're working
Yes.
towards something. And like any other career, if you get a good grade, if you put in the work, the next step just comes, right? Well, like, okay, that's a huge generalization. But like it's a bit more consecutive. There's a bit more control.
Yeah.
You may study the course and get the next step. But yeah, like it's hard in writing because you really can't predict, as Alexis was saying, when these next steps are going to come.
I know. That's why she got us both. She
She
got us
got
both
me
with those
good.
words.
And I've been like
Yeah.
trying to shift my
Yeah.
mindset back to being like, I'm a bad bitch. And
Yeah.
like boosting myself because I used to be, I'm generally really good at just telling myself what a bad bitch I am. And like, you've got this and look at all the cool things you've done. But I'll be honest, like those negative voices win sometimes. They win
Oh my
hard
God, I
and they kick
know.
us in the ass. Even when, if you look back, look at all the amazing things that we're doing. That's us. This is the screen. That's the
Exactly.
screen. I was meaning the podcast as well. Like we are constantly
Yeah.
overachieving the fuck out of ourselves, out of what old us would have expected for both of us. And somehow we still manage to fall victim to the other voice that tells us we didn't do enough. We still haven't done X. Like, what if this? What if this? What if this? But you're fucking amazing. Like, and fuck those CUNTs who haven't put you at a bestseller yet, but it is coming for you. You know what I mean? And it sucks when like you're working
Yes.
towards that and it doesn't happen and you just like can't. But I what I want to say is it's not a testament to your work in any way. Like your work is so beautiful and you are an icon. And I feel like regardless of lists and whatever, that this book has felt so major. And like the opportunities and like the way you've just, I don't know, I just feel like Angela's star is like rising to the moon and beyond,
Thank you.
you know?
Thank you. Yes. Oh, hold on. The wait.
Are you
What just
finally
happened?
activated your things? Try this
Yeah.
now.
Oh, wait.
Oh, well done. You did it. You must have
Oh,
upgraded.
sorry, everybody. We got distracted.
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
Melanie was just breaking down the universe and saying so many nice things, and then emojis started flying up on Zoom.
Yeah. But also, let's cut ourselves out
Yeah.
some slack as well, because I think the universal energy, speaking of the universe, like the world energy has felt heavy. You know, like it has felt like there's this kind of palpable negative anxiety sometimes with everything that's going on. So I think like still being positive, still getting on with it, still showing up and trying to make like the world a little bit brighter with whatever we're doing. I think that in itself is this like wild and like I'm constantly in awe of like my friends and like how we still strive to like bring bring some joy, bring some positivity, try to tip the balance, the energy balance in favor of good. You know what I, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes. And this is why I miss being on, like, coming on the podcast every week. It's like, need that reminder, like the little slap in the face, the like energy boost, and that
Yeah.
like reminder of, hey, you're doing great, but also like this is for fun to
Mhm.
like bring the joy back. And so like yeah, I think not having, it's funny because we didn't do many episodes like leading up to launch just because so much was happening in both
Yeah,
of our lives. But and I was like, okay, yeah, this will be a good break. But then also having the break like
it wasn't good.
didn't bring any, it wasn't good. Yeah.
I think we've learned a lesson that the podcast has become a critical part of our mental health.
I guess I just am realizing it. Like that was the thing that was missing because it was like everything was going on and it was like, yeah, great, but then also sadness and humdrum and like I needed a little of that boost, the goodness, and like to talk to you and to other authors and all the stuff. And so yeah.
I got little
So
happy chills
word to
because
the
I feel,
wise.
yeah, I got little happy chills all over my body because I honestly feel the same. And like I could just feel my soul lifting already just thinking about, because like I guess without this kind of like grounding anchor in the community we've built, everything else feels like a bit of a crapshoot of unpredictability.
Hmm.
Like it's like the hard parts without without like sharing with your friends, without like the little like writer church we've created. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so true. Oh, yep. Okay. Now we
Okay, we're
know.
gonna get
Now I
back to
know. I'm
booking.
gonna,
I feel my soul is lighter
yes.
as well after talking to you and Alexis because yeah, the hard stuff, the hard parts of this industry, as we know, it's always going to be there. There's always going to be no's. There's always going to be goals that we don't reach. There's always going to be disappointments. And like the consistent thing is the group of absolute badass bitches that we have in our lives who are like inspire me all the time when I'm like having those lows, you know?
Mm. Sorry. Let me just try and get on a new Wi-Fi
Yeah,
signal
go.
again.
Hey, hey.
Okay. I wonder if it's because I'm using like the actual app and not like, I don't know.
It's good now.
Okay. Well, good. Good, good,
Anyway,
good.
I really appreciate you sharing that vulnerability because that's like about how you felt about not hitting the bestseller list or whatever this time. Because, yeah, like if I'm honest, I think I felt that like embarrassment not selling my book last year. I think I felt like I reached this point and then I didn't sell it. And there is this like, I didn't prove the thing. And I just like always
Hmm.
appreciate your vulnerability with this because it helps me like verbalize what I'm thinking as well. Because yeah, that's real. I honestly think that's why a lot of people don't do it and don't stay in it. Because confronting that like perceived shame, and I say perceived because when we actually sit with it, it's just it's not a real thing. Like there's so much more we have done and we are achieving than that feeling in that moment. And yeah, but it's like it can be so all encompassing when that feeling comes and that's when imposter syndrome gets loud. You know what I mean? So thank you for sharing that.
That's exactly it. No, no, I'm not that I'm glad you feel that as well, but I'm glad I'm not alone in it, because I was like, oh, yeah, I felt like I said, almost like embarrassed to
Yeah.
not meet this goal. When, my team was doing so much, like we had like this pre-launch party and there was all this stuff happening. They did PR boxes and I was just like, oh no. You know what I mean? Like we didn't hit
Mhm.
anything after all of this. Like not, yeah, I'm embarrassed or, kind of like oh, people are gonna probably look at me and be like, oh, but really who's really looking at, you know what I mean? Like who's really caring, I suppose. But
That's
yeah,
something
it's our
I've been
brain.
meditating on this week. Like who's really it's just me being a cunt to myself. Like nobody, literally nobody is looking there, sitting there going like, Melanie didn't sell her book last year. Fuck that bitch. Or like she can't be that.
Right, right, right.
Nobody's saying the things we're saying to ourselves. And that's why I'm trying so hard to check that and get back to like where I say nice things to myself because it really I get all these reels about like your brain and like brain neuroplasty and whatever, and like you literally rewrite your brain. And in a way, you literally become what you tell yourself you are. You know, like if you keep telling yourself these horrible negative things, like it does feel it. And obviously, like again, it all has its limits, right? There's life shit
Yeah.
that gets in the way and like and you just gonna have a depressive season or you just like there's stuff that gets in the way but like I don't want to be the reason why I can't find my courage. You know, if my voice is the only voice that's like uh and I really appreciate your use of the word embarrassed because I felt embarrassed last year.
Mm,
I think
mm.
that on the money, I felt embarrassed because here I've put myself on this platform and I got an agent and it was all happening and then it's crickets.
Right.
It is
Yes, yes,
embarrassing.
yes.
And I do think though, being able to like manage that feeling is why we're still here. Like it's
Hmm.
fucking hard. It's fucking hard.
Yeah,
And I wish we could
it
just like
is.
have a pajama party and have pizza and forget about the like business side of publishing for a second because and yeah, maybe that's what the podcast is for us, right? We can't do that IRL. So this is our pizza party right now. Do you know what I mean, though? Like
Yes,
the
yes,
end to the
yes.
grind. There's got to be a stop to the grind. And I think when you're doing a career like this, you can just keep going. You can grind that stone every day. And then if you don't feel closer to a goal you had in mind, that can feel so defeating. But it's not like a signpost. It's just this industry. It's just this industry.
Right. Yeah. No, yes. And thank you for saying that also. Like it doesn't like equate to the work. Like
Yeah.
you're not selling a book, me not making a list. It doesn't equate to the work. The work is good. The work is there. So like, and that's where my brain started going. I was like, oh, dang it. It's because I'm not a good enough writer. I didn't do enough. So again, your brain becomes your worst enemy and it's just a little asshole. So, and I feel like we talk about this so much on this podcast, but I feel like it's because it's like a continual practice. It doesn't go
Literally.
away.
It's like get tattoos or talk about it, like,
Yeah.
but I feel like I honestly I don't will never get tired of talking about this because we're like you say, we're constantly dealing with it and like the world is like not like it's not set up for us to easily achieve at this. Like
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
not. Like every part of it, like unless the publishing gods smile on you or you're in a certain position, like every part of it is like a lot of like soul searching and like bleeding onto the page and like reinventing your fucking personality for these
Yeah.
characters. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. Like it's just
Yeah.
I definitely think just being pursuing this as a career has changed me as a person. And I know we've spoken about that before as well. Like even just that part of like how it changes you as a person because you're forced to like confront so much of yourself and like pick everything apart. But yeah,
Ugh, all the
this shit
time.
is
All
real.
the time. It freaking is. It freaking is. Okay, so what are you working on right now?
Oh
Like
my
what,
God.
because we haven't
Mhm.
chatted. Oh, and I want to know everything about how stuff outside of bookish stuff is going on as well, but I don't know what you want to talk about. Like, I don't like just spill the beans on your life.
Oh my God. Okay, writing wise, I just submitted like Croatian anthology piece to a Croatian
Yes.
publisher. So I found as I was doing
Yes.
so I'm working on a middle grade and a YA for Sandra. Uh Middle grade is like fantasy rewrite, actual rewrite of the Pitch Wars book from long ago. So it has some of those core threads, but it's
Yes.
basically going to be a new book. Like it's going to be a new book, but because I've sat with those characters for so long, it won't be hard to like reinvent them in this new world, new monsters and in the process of researching all these like Croatian monsters, because yeah, I don't know how much I said about this on the pod, but the long story short, which you know, is just I because of my deeply religious upbringing and all of my Croatian side has been so tied to that. Over the years, as I've deconstructed, like I wanted nothing to do with my Croatian side. Like could never have imagined that I would come to the place where I would like be able to separate the two because it was just so intertwined for me because I grew up in a Croatian church. So as I've been like falling in love with that part of my like letting myself fall in love with that side of myself, it's been wild. Like I didn't expect it, kind of like just crept up on me as I like kind of put that other slowly put the trauma of like conservative religion to rest bit by bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's deep,
Mm-hmm.
man. Like that religious trauma, every fucking week I discover a new way that it's like fucks with my nervous system. Like that shit is so real if you've like been brainwashed that way. But yeah, anyway, somehow I'm unwinding my Croatianness from that and it's been so cool. And I went researching like Croatian monsters and stuff for this middle grade. And in the process, found this Croatian publisher. And like they just happened to be open to submissions for their anthology about like supernatural fantasy horror. Like horror was optional, but like literally all the areas I work in, literally a Croatian press. And I was just like, it's not going to be open now, but it was open now. So I had to write a piece to submit to that because I was just like, what are the fucking chances? And it's in English, like, so I didn't have to write it in Croatian because my Croatian is super basic. We're not writing anthology pieces in Croatian right now, but it was in English as well. So all of the things just aligned. I was like, shit. So I did that. And then, yeah, the middle grade and YA for Sandra. The YA is one, God, I've been wanting to like finish that YA for ages. And this week, something critical that I was missing to finish the plotting, I finally fucking filled that motherfucker in, and I'm so happy. Like I just could not like
Ooh.
make the end feel as juicy as the beginning in my early drafts. I just didn't have the skill to pull it off because this is like a
Ah.
10 years in progress almost, this book. And I've always loved the voice. I've always loved how voicey it is and how interesting the world is, but I just couldn't quite, I don't know, I couldn't finish.
Yeah.
So I guess it was not the time for it, but yeah, now I've finally married in a bit more dystopian stuff and I'm excited. I'm excited. And
Oh
we're
my
we're just telling imposter syndrome
God.
to shut up and just charging on ahead with everything. And then there's a secret project as well, a little bit more spicy one that I'm slowly plugging away with for a side quest. So yeah, she's been busy. I've got about, I want to say I've got like 6,000 words on the side quest project, and I've got both the middle grade and YA, the skeleton plotted. Very, very basic one. So
Oh my God, you've been very busy.
yeah.
You
Listen, I'm not going
you
to
have
pretend
been
that,
very busy.
yeah, I'm not going to pretend that in between the busy there hasn't, just because there's been a lot of life stuff happening at the same time. Even
Yeah.
this morning, I was in like this meeting for whether or not our apartment is going to be saved. It's a long story for a different episode, but there's just been so much going on. But so there's been days where I just like stare at the wall. But in
Yeah.
between that, I'm like fucking getting on with it because I'm not gonna wait. Like I love that quote and I'm gonna like butcher it now, but I love that quote about like you just like can't wait to feel ready to do this stuff. You just have to like keep going with it, right?
Mm.
I'm not gonna like wait until the day when I feel all whimsical and like where I feel like my writing's great now. I did that and that was like depression. I'm just getting on with
Yes.
it and writing it and
Yes.
like writing the shittiest, most like extravagant first drafts, and I'll fix it later, you know?
Yes. This is the podcast I have been needing for weeks. This
Oh
is
my
the
God.
things I've been needing to hear. Yes, 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 yes. We're just gonna keep going.
Yeah,
And we're not gonna be mean to ourselves anymore. We're gonna just have
no,
fun doing it. Damn it.
exactly. How are you going with your current project?
I've been so mean and
Show me.
so hard on myself.
Why do we do it to
Um,
ourselves? And
I
I
don't
honestly think you're
know.
right. This is why we need the podcast because we mentally check each other about that constantly.
Yeah,
But without it, I don't know. Like, I guess we're just both high achieving, like naturally super
little
hard on
bitches.
ourselves. I didn't realize like I was such a
Yeah.
perfectionist about the expectations on myself. I do still blame religious
Yeah.
people for all of that.
Yes, I'm gonna go with that as well. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna piggyback on that. No, I have been like grinding my gears writing
Mm,
this fourth book, which I'm sure is soon to be announced, but it's called The Immortal Undoing. And honestly, like every word has been a struggle.
mm,
And I think it's again, I think it's just all the things just on my shoulders. I have, my launch for Carnival Fantastico was there, just
yeah.
all the things. And I was like, oh, and plus this book feels very big. There's like a
Huge,
lot of
huge
big
world.
world building. Yeah, so I think I was just like I'm very, very nervous about it. I sent the first 100 pages, and they're very rough still. Like I still need to like do a lot,
Yeah.
but I sent them to readers and to a few, and I've heard, and I think three of them read it in like a few hours. Like they sent me their notes, critiques right back. And that to me is made me feel very good, like knowing that it was not so unbearable that they didn't want to finish reading 100 pages. In fact, that they wanted to get through it fast, and read and keep
Your
them
early
engaged. So
drafts
that was
are
like, okay, good.
never,
I'm on the right track.
yeah,
So
always
I'm on
good.
the right track. Our friend Ophelia mentioned that my characters remind her of, you remember The Emperor's New Groove?
I fucking
Have you
love
ever
The
watched that movie?
Emperor's New
Yeah.
Groove.
So the Emperor and what's the his buddy? What's the guy's name? Well, him. My characters remind me of those two characters. So
Chrono.
that made me feel very good.
Oh my God.
Cusco and
Yeah, it
I
was
don't
something
remember
with
the
the
other one.
K.
Yeah. So that made me feel good. Like, okay, yes, my comedic timing is on point. I'm getting there slowly. So yeah, so I'm working on that. That book is due in May. I
Mm.
have I have I have it done. Not really. I have like the first like I have 4 acts, right? I have the first 3 acts pretty good.
Mm.
And then the fourth one I just stopped.
Oh,
So so
but
I'm gonna continue to work, but happily and kindly.
and kindly. And oh my God, like
Yeah.
even just Carnival coming out alone would have been enough pressure on your plate. The fact that your deadline is this tight alongside a release is wild to me. Like my soul feels anguished that you don't have like the kind of space to breathe around projects. That feels like wow.
Yeah, that was probably my fault. That was probably my doing.
Can you ask
But,
for an extension and push your deadline?
yeah, I'm sure I can get it to like June or something like that. We also had another project with a different
Yeah.
publisher, but because timing was so tight, we had to back out of like I had to pull out.
Mm.
And it was a project I was really, really excited about. It was like an IP project.
Yeah.
But I learned to be a big girl and like say no, even though it's money and it would have been a really fun project, but my brain was already on fire as it was. So we did a big girl thing, me and my agent, and we backed out. So
Yeah.
yeah, because sometimes your brain just can't, and my brain was not.
Yeah. I think like it's so hard, to like switch off the constant work in this career because you can
Yeah.
always find more work to do and you can see it. You can see how all the little bricks add up to like make things, I don't know, more successful and like drive your career forward. But and I know it can seem like counterintuitive. I think that's the problem. You reach a point where it feels counterintuitive to take a break, to just stop and
Mm,
do nothing.
mm-hmm.
Like, why would I just sit around and stop and do nothing when I could be doing X, Y, and Z? But literally, our brains reach a point where it's just like white noise, right? You know, those days
Mm,
when your brain is just like, that's it, I overdid it, it's just white noise now. And we shouldn't
yes.
have to get to that stage to like let ourselves have those breaks. But
Yes.
I mean, yeah, as always, I blame capitalism for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what I don't blame for capitalism? Alexis Marigold.
Mary,
Marigold is who we had on, and she is a straight up breath of fresh air. She is sunshine within a human form. She is not white noise. She's beautiful noise.
is
I
sunshine
don't know.
on the window.
Yes. Yes. So let's read her bio.
Yeah,
Hopefully my internet will hold. I have it here if you'd like me to read
I
it.
can do it as well. I got it here.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you, because I don't know how my internet's gonna be.
Yeah. Alexis Maragold is a disabled fantasy author who's learned the hard way that life doesn't have to be painless to be full. She hopes to offer readers an indulgent, unputdownable escape while illuminating the layered realities of those with invisible disabilities. When she's not playing mastermind with her pen, Alexis can be found making a fool of herself on Instagram, dabbling in just about every art form, dusting off her design skills, or searching for portals in the pines around her Rayleigh NC home. What a queen.
Yes. What a straight up queen. Yeah, it's so fun because we've known her for so long now, and so it's cool to get to have her on and celebrate her huge release, which
Just the
is
best.
so, so cool.
So, so
Yeah.
cool. I'm grinning like an idiot because in our last minute 30, if you don't have anything you want to say, I want to tell you what happened to me the other day.
Okay, okay.
If I can tell it in a minute. Okay, so I had on this shirt, not this shirt, a different one, has a mushroom on it. I love this shirt. I was wearing it, and the other day I went walking out into town. I don't know if I've told you this yet, but I haven't told it on the pod, I don't think. Stop me if I have. Anyway, I'm walking along, and you have those days where you just like feeling yourself. And I felt like people kept looking at me, like, and I was like, oh, I look so great today, as I thought. Anyway, at some point I felt this breeze. I was like, well, what's this breeze? I look down. There is a hole in my shirt. I wasn't wearing a bra. My nipple was just out, and I was walking around the city with my fucking nipple out,
Oh.
pointing the way. And here I was like, when you just have those days, it's like, yeah, walking along. And these fucking tradies were like smiling and laughing at me. Now I know why. My goddamn nipple was out all over Melbourne. I almost died when I realized. Da-da-da. Hi!
Hello.
Oh my God, where are you?
Hello.
It looks very
I'm in like
prepared.
a co-working space. I'm in a
Ooh.
co-working space at our apartment. Like has like
Oh,
a co-working
cool.
thing. Yeah. I was like, we're gonna get out of the apartment.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
very cool. Well, and you look super profesh. It's like a cool look behind you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is
Thank
good. I
you.
like what you're working with here.
And I've got like my puffer coats and sweats on.
No, but
That's the best way
somehow
to
it looks
do it.
glamorous on you. It looks like you're like about to just like go out on the red carpet and just
Oh,
honestly, I just have to
with
say,
slippers.
even better, I just have to say, like, what is all this hair glory that I'm looking at between the two of you? I need to put a wig on. Like I'm
I've
just
got a
like
few.
You do have a few, Mel. You should grab one. No, I'm just
actually it's growing pretty fast, but I just
It
have to say, like,
is.
I'm just looking at this screen and I'm like, God damn, look at this hair glory. I don't know what's in the
Do
water
you
over there, but
I don't really want to know what's in our water over here.
literally.
uh, that's
Oh.
no truer words have been said. Yes. Yes. Well, welcome. This is so amazing. Like Melanie was just saying before you popped in that you just feel like family, like you're part of this like journey that we've all been on together. So it's so fun to have you on as a published author out here killing it. Like, okay, well, first of all, congratulations. And like, how are you feeling?
I don't have coherent words about how I'm feeling. There's a lot of jumble of emotions, but good, mostly good things, you know?
Good. Good.
Just good overwhelm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's relatable. That feels right. Good overwhelm. I think that's good.
Thanks. Doesn't
Yeah.
feel very elegant, but
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and you've been out like doing events and all that stuff. Like, how has that been too? Like, do you feel nervous when you're doing those, or it's like no big deal? We've got this.
mostly not nervous. Mostly like I guess excited nervous really. Like how do I smell? Are we remembering to put deodorant on? Like the making sure I bring everything that I need to bring, but
Mm.
it's actually just been mostly very, very exciting to meet people and to hug people. I'm a hugger. So I'm like, can I give you a hug? And most people are very kind and say yes, but then some people are like, not about that. And that's fine. But it's been really, really cool to meet people in person.
Mm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And only
Yeah.
more things to come, like only more events and all the fun stuff. So get ready. Get that
Yes.
deodorant on, put it in the bag.
Literally. Well, I'm so excited to like hear the whole journey of like how things got going for this book, but I do want to start with the all important question. that we always hinge off, which is what is the strangest thing you own?
Yeah, I was racking my brain and our apartment. And the not fun answer is that I donate things quite frequently, probably too frequently. um, it's joked that like I often run out of clothing because I get excited by the idea of donating, but I'm like, I don't need this. And then I'm like, so anyway, I get rid of things. But the weirdest thing that I decide to keep, and I don't know why I do this, is receipts. So I have over a decade's worth of receipts in a box in our closet. So I can't, those are expired. Like the return window is long gone. So I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Did
It's
you
receipts for the
maybe
smallest things too.
did you maybe already give away some of the things you still have the receipt for?
Absolutely. I have receipts from like 2 houses ago in there.
Okay.
We have never heard this answer
No,
before, and
I love it
I
as
love
well.
this for you. Yes, yes.
I don't think it's necessarily like the quirky fun answer, but it's just like truly strange that I've done that to me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You just never know, you
Yeah.
You
know?
never.
You never
If I want to
know.
know what the price of a pack of gum was in 2018, I could probably find it for you.
You
And
see?
it would be that one time that you get rid of it that you need to know too, right? It would be like, oh, how much were those Altoids? And you can't
Yeah,
find it. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
This is amazing. I love this.
I
I love
love
this
this.
answer. Yeah, yeah, this is perfect. Okay, what is something that you think about way too often? What's your Roman Empire?
My Roman Empire?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Uh, I'm trying. I'm like, I'm trying to keep it PG. Answer.
No,
No.
no, no, no.
Our
Now we must
episodes,
know.
yeah, our episodes are marked explicit, so you can say whatever's on your
Oh,
mind.
Yeah, now you
oh,
Because I'm
must.
a potty mouth. It's my fault. I'm a potty mouth.
yeah, yeah. Well, lately, my Roman Empire keeps going back to heated rivalry. Um, Literally, it's all I can think of every single day, and my brain can't. It's just living in a beautiful, happy, heated rivalry world, and I'm glad about that. It's keeping me company.
Yeah,
Mm,
I don't know
mm.
if you can see me shaking my titties in your screen, but I have a
Get him!
heated rivalry shirt on.
We're going to the cottage. Yes.
I wasn't
Oh,
just
so
rubbing
many.
my breasts on the screen for you for no reason.
Even if that was the case, that would be welcome.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes.
I love this
I still
answer.
haven't watched it. I'm behind. I know, I know, I know. I'm gonna get to it eventually, but
I
yeah,
know.
I've learned. I've been living through all of you.
Yeah.
And
It
it's
gets in there.
that's it. It's
Mm.
probably smart that you avoided it if you have deadlines because it would be all you wouldn't be able to put it down, and it's best that it's for a treat when you're done with things.
Yes.
Okay.
I learned the hard way because I was like, one night, it was around 10 p.m. And
Mm.
I thought on a whim, I'm going to watch Heated Rivalry. Guess who didn't fall asleep at all that night? I
Mm.
watched it straight through
Same.
and was not pleased about that the next day with my body, but emotionally, I was very satisfied.
Mm. Yes, I think after we watched it, there was a good month or two where me and my husband just walked around the house and at random intervals we'd just be like, grab each other and be like, fuck, Hollander. Just like
I love
anywhere,
it so much.
making dinner, fuck, Hollander.
Yeah. I I admire that. I appreciate that. I also got wrapped up in the interviews that they were doing. I
Yeah.
really enjoy watching cast interviews, and there was one in particular where it was full of one-liners, full of wonderful one-liners, and I'm like trying to rack my brain, like what were they? But I was using them in rotation for a good minute there. Um,
Glorious. It's just iconic.
yeah,
Everything around it is iconic. I'm obsessed as well. I
yeah,
did get sucked into Merc.
yeah,
I live in this now.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I'll work on that. Once my deadline is up, I will get on it and stay up all
Yes.
night watching. Because yeah,
Mm.
I'm very out of the loop, but obviously it needs to happen. Obviously, the writing was spectacular, and that is
Yes.
why you have fallen for this, which leads me into my question, which is I worked hard for that, guys. I worked
That was
hard
a
for that
great
segue.
segue.
Thank you. Thank you. Speaking of great writers, did you know, Alexis, that you always wanted to be a writer?
I always loved writing,
Mm.
but I didn't think I had it in me to write a book. I would send myself emails once emails existed. I started sending myself emails of book ideas, and I had journals with book ideas from when I was younger. But it was never like, oh, I'm going to one day write this book. I just thought, I'm going to write this book idea down, put it in the universe, and maybe someone will make it happen, but it won't be me.
Mm.
And then finally that changed in 2022. I was late into my 20s before I even entertained the thought that I could write a whole novel.
Well,
I
okay,
just
so take us back. Like, what made you change? Like, what was the thing that
a
like,
good
okay, I'm gonna do it.
old a good old shake of the head, a good old concussion, and impaired judgment. But that impaired judgment is what silenced my inner critic, I think, enough to
Mm.
just like, oh,
Mm.
I can do this finally. I was literally the day after I got into a car accident. The doctor was like, okay, avoid screens. And I said, you know
Ooh.
what? We're going to be glued to a screen and write a whole novel. Now is
Okay.
the time.
Mm.
No, but I had a Word document already of a book outline and some magical concoction of having this on my computer, having the concussion, having a few days off of work at the time. And I watched a bookstagrammer, not a bookstagrammer, an author on Bookstagram talk about her writing process. And it seemed so accessible for the first time. I was like,
Mm.
oh, well, maybe I could write a book. And then I didn't even second guess it, which I know was thanks to the concussion. So shout out to the
Wow.
guy who rear-ended me, honestly. Kudos to
But
him.
Wow.
he changed you, forever
He
changed you.
changed. Yeah, I should
Yeah.
be I should be giving him some royalties. No, no.
Yeah. He's gonna be listening to this and be like, you know what? She's right.
Mm. Well, the
Oh my
concussion
gosh.
got me thinking like I really love what you have in the start of your bio, that
Mm.
you've learned the hard way that life doesn't have to be painless to be full. That really resonates with me. And yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about anything else relating to that, but it really struck a chord with me if you do want to share anything about where that comes from for you, how that's been on your journey.
Yeah, I've never been a healthy person my entire life, but my childhood was full of different doctor visits of trying to figure out what's wrong with me and getting diagnoses and then figuring out maybe those diagnoses were incorrect. And so I've never considered myself a healthy human, but in my mid to late 20s, I finally started identifying with the word disabled and accepting that that was my reality due to chronic pain. I've got chronic migraines, I have hypopituitarism, I've got arthritis, we've got a list of diagnoses. But between the physical pain and the emotional pain of a complex childhood, you learn that there can be a simultaneous existence of pain and joy.
Mm.
Mm.
And I think that for me, the pain makes the joy have more depth because I have something to compare it to.
Mm.
And I have just really felt strongly about adding those experiences and perspectives into everything I write and making sure that invisible disabilities are portrayed in a way that validates the struggle and the battle of it, but also feels like a celebration
Mm.
of how much resistance and resilience and joy we are capable of feeling amongst this daily battle with our minds, with our bodies, and internal external circumstances.
Mm.
Beautiful. Yeah, and thank you. Like, thank
Yeah.
you for doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's so easy just for anybody to give up, especially when pain is involved, when discomfort is involved, when your body just doesn't want you to do the things, and then you do it anyway. And like we always say with writing, you just do it scared. But for you, it's like you do it through the pain, and then here comes this beautiful product that not only for you to enjoy, but for disabled readers to enjoy, for anybody to enjoy, and it's this beautiful, gorgeous art piece in celebration of all of that hard work. It's so amazing to see your book behind Melanie's shoulder, actually on the shelves.
It's
It's
so
I
stunning.
can't wait.
gorgeous. So, so beautiful.
Oh,
I was
look at her.
so like, I don't know if I'm allowed, if it sounds patronizing, but I felt so proud when I saw you like starting on this journey. And I do want to like ask how this particular, I'm getting sidetracked from our questions. I'm sorry, it was bound to happen. I do want to like ask how this particular journey got started for you.
Of this story or publishing this story in
Publish,
this way?
you know what? Start wherever feels good for you.
Yeah. Lead us. Tell us what you want.
So this was the second and fourth book I ever wrote, and I'll get to the fourth part in a minute. But
Mm.
so in 2022, after I wrote my first one and queried it for a little bit, I was feeling that creative restless urge, and I was ready to move on to the next project. And the first project wasn't fantasy; it was more of a contemporary fiction type of piece. But I love fantasy. I love the escapism. I love magic. I love how epic these fantasy stories could feel. And I wanted more disability representation in the fantasy genre. And the list existed, but it was smaller than I'd like it to be. And
Mhm.
so it was a bit self indulgent of, okay, well, I'm going to add to it with my own. And so the early version of This Safe Darkness was written in the latter half of 2022. And then, of course, that went through various iterations with preparing to query it and then querying it. I want to say it went through at least 6 or 7 versions by the time that I got an agent offer of representation in early 2024. And all of those different versions kind of shared this theme of it was more of an epic fantasy, and the FMC at those versions of the story was anywhere between 17 to 19, depending on the version of the draft that you picked up. We were kind of right on that YA adult crossover. So it was like throwing out noodles and seeing which one would stick. But it was definitely more high epic fantasy in the earlier versions. There were these different magical beings called the Diorum and High Diorum, Low Diorum, and all that. And I was very proud of the work that that version of the story did. But as I signed with an agent and we prepared this for submission, and I worked on another project, I just started growing in my writing career and my craft, and also was just at a different phase of my life. I'm well into my 30s now, and I got this itch to rewrite completely, like scrap it all, the plot, the world, and just keep the very heart essence, which was a disabled character in a fantasy world, but in a way that reflected where I was at in my life, where the world is at, and the story that I wanted to tell in this stage of my career. Um, and then this new version of it was born, and that's when I rewrote it last year. And that's why I call it my fourth book, because it really does feel like an entirely different book.
Mhm.
The only thing that stayed the same was the title, because I felt very attached to that title.
I love it.
It's very symbolic in terms of the disability experience too. I feel like a lot of us, I think darkness sometimes gets this bad rap of it's this dangerous thing, and certainly can be. But for me, that's where I'm safest, is in the dark. It's where
Mm.
I'm the most protected. It's where I truly have a haven for my body when I'm trying to avoid the light and other triggers. So
Damn, that's
um,
good. That's good. That was good, Alexis. That's a good title. When you explain it, that's so freaking good. Okay, yes.
Um, and then, you know, the experience of switching from trad pub route
Mm,
to self pub route has been a whirlwind. And I
mm.
don't know if you want to talk about that piece of
Yeah.
it,
All of
Yes.
but
it. Absolutely.
so after some time on submission, I had started getting this idea of wanting to rewrite the story. And at that point, you're like, okay, well, this project has been on submission for a good while. So what are the options? And I was also in a stage in my career, or I was at a stage in my life where some people very, very close to me got some hard diagnoses.
Mm.
And it was just a reminder that you don't know how much time you have with yourself, with the people around you that you love dearly. And I was reevaluating what my goals were with my career and what pros and cons I was willing to accept and what pros and cons I no longer felt like were applicable. And I think that for me, it was never about the stereotype between trad pub and self pub. I think they're both so valid. They're both
Mhm.
very valid paths to get to publishing.
Mhm.
Um, but for me, I was ready to trade the timing sacrifice for a little bit of a financial sacrifice, and take the timeline into my own control and my own hands. So some of the people that I love dearly can be a part of my debut experience, and also so I could have more of the things in my hands a little bit and
Mm.
creatively and to take a risk on myself because last year I started the year of 2025 at the lowest confidence level that I've been since I started writing, and I ended it with feeling proud of the work that I was able to accomplish. And I think a large part of that was because I decided to take a risk. I decided that my story had value and I was going to be my own book deal and my own publisher. And I certainly didn't achieve any of this alone still. It definitely took a team and working with the right people, but we're doing it. We're
Hell yeah,
doing
you are.
it.
Yes, you absolutely
Hell
are.
yeah.
You're not just doing it, you're killing it. You're out here thriving and getting this book into people's hands and it's so amazing. What has there been anything like in the self-pub indie space that has like absolutely surprised you?
Mm.
Ooh, so many
Yeah.
things.
I can only,
So
yes, yeah.
I think kind of like when I was before I'd ever written my first book, I just assumed I could never do it. And for the
Mm,
longest time, I just thought I could never self-publish because I'm disabled and I only have so many spoons. And so I didn't really fully consider that I don't have to do it on my own, that I just had to be very strategic about what my goals are
mm,
and how I'm using my time and who I do partner with, because there are companies out there that work with trad pub authors and self-published authors to help spread the word for certain campaigns like ARC campaigns, for instance, or cover reveal squads. And there are resources out there for
Mm.
those who have the connections or finances or resources available to them. And I know I am privileged that I was able to make some financial investments
Mm.
to have help and have a team. But I guess one of the things that has been the most surprising is how supported I have felt. Because for the longest time, I thought that self-publishing would feel very isolating and alone, and I have felt more supported than ever. Between the editors, the brilliant editors that I've gotten to work with on this, and the
Mm.
cover artist, and the companies that I've worked with and collaborated with for the cover reveal and ARC campaign,
Mm.
I've felt so supported and so in awe of other people's talent and how we're all just kind of working together to support this book and other indie authors.
Mm. I'm obsessed with everything you're saying, and I think it's gonna like resonate with a lot of people, like having limited spoons. And like it's something I've heard from people, like that side is very daunting to like go into it like alone, because yeah, like you said, as you get going, the support is there. Do you have anything that's like any resources or whatever that you particularly were just like, because like getting started, it's just a sea of jumble, and like where do you even start? Do you have anything that you would like recommend for people starting that journey, or if, like what to avoid? Tell us your experience with that if you dare.
Oh, where do I start? I wish I could say there was like a step-by-step guide that someone
Yeah.
provided, and I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it exists. But I had a very specific vision of, for instance, I wanted a special edition. So and sorry, I'm all over the place, but one of the beautiful things is you really do get to carve your own path and you get to
Mm.
choose what you want your self-publishing journey to look like, depending on your resources, your spoons, your goals. Some of the resources that have been the most helpful for me, I connected with my editors through Readsy, which is a platform where there's a lot of professionals, and none of this is sponsored.
Yeah,
No.
that's the best kind. That's the
This
best
is the
kind.
fun.
Yes.
And honestly, like even if there was a list, I honestly don't trust the list. This is what I trust. This is
Yeah,
what I trust. Listening to people, like hearing what
yeah,
worked for them, trying it out myself. It's not like one shoe fits all anyway. But that's why I find it like so
yeah,
valuable to hear your own experience with it. So
yeah.
yeah, like whatever you feel,
Get on Readsy.
read.
Yeah, Readsy. There's a
Yeah.
lot of industry professionals on Readsy that have experience in both the traditional publishing space and
Mm.
the self-publishing space. And I really loved that idea of working with someone who's been in both worlds, because I've been in both worlds kind of. And
Yeah.
I just liked the idea of working with someone who's had multiple perspectives. And so that's how I connected with my editors. And you can kind of see other reviews from other people and who else they've worked with. So it's kind of like you get to see a resume almost of these different industry professionals. And I like that it's all in one place, because going back to limited spoons, sure, I could search the internet and social media platforms for different editors, but you do have to spend a little bit more time digging around and finding, versus having it all in one spot was just very, very helpful. Um, but on the other hand, for the cover artist, that was one where I went through Instagram specifically, and I would type in cover reveal, and I would just look at a bunch of people's covers and look at the captions of, ooh, who designed this one? And then I would add them to the list and send out an email and kind of pitch the project to them and mention what my timeline was. And from there, whoever was available and interested, just getting quotes from. And I was so, so fortunate to connect with a brilliant cover designer that, like, I feel in awe of her work. She's so, so talented. And I feel like the Safe Darkness, I don't know if it would be at where it is if it wasn't for the work that she's done on this cover. Because so many people have told me that they found me through the cover, and that's how it got on their TBR.
Wow.
And so I'm
Hey,
very
you got to
thankful for
give your
that.
yeah, you got to give yourself credit for that though, because you did the work of researching and finding the artist and writing the words that would create ultimately the art. So give yourself all the credit
Oh,
too, and obviously good job to your artist because it is
yeah.
so good. Like, how did this come to be your cover? Like, did you have like for mine, I've always had these like long pages, Pinterest boards, the whole line. Like, is that what you did?
Yeah, so I basically put, I want to say it was maybe 9 pages long of, here's some covers of similar books, like comps. Here are some covers that are maybe less of a strong comp, but in the same genre that I really resonate with. And here are some fonts that I like, because I'm a graphic designer, and some fonts are important. And color palettes. I knew that I wanted purple because of the disability awareness piece of it all. That is the color. It's purple for
Wow.
disability awareness. And so the purple piece I knew for sure. And I thought that the gold would pair well because of the circadian rhythm magic that's in the story and just like a call out to the sunshine. And so I kind of presented this whole creative scope to the people. And I knew also that I wanted the above ground world and the underground world to be captured, because this idea of people who are disabled and frequently bedridden, it feels like we're creatures of two worlds sometimes. We get
Mm.
to intimately acquainted with our own safe darkness. And for that, it's like my bedroom and memorizing every square inch of the ceiling because I've spent a lot of time there. And then when I venture out, when I'm feeling well enough to venture out, I feel like there's this different version of the world that I get to see in this different version of myself, because on those days I do have the spoons. So a lot of symbolism, but then also, this is kind of what the world actually looks like too. So yeah, it was fun to see the very rough design that I had kind of pitched together. And then she made it look actually professional. Because even though I'm a graphic designer, I certainly do not have the chops to be creating something of this caliber.
I do seem to
So,
remember
Man.
you making a map, or am I misremembering
oh,
that?
oh, okay. I did make the map. But it took me a good while. It took me a good while to create this bad boy. But it's there and it exists.
Glorious.
At some point, I just had to lower the bar for myself. I'm like, it conveys what it needs to convey. It
That's
shows
That's all
gorgeous.
you need.
the
Yeah.
landscape. Um, oh, and
That's
then
so cool.
one other resource that I really want to reiterate to those who are considering the self-publishing route, the Nerd Fam has been an excellent resource. They are specifically people that really help partner with authors from both sides of the publishing world and for me, they help with the ARC campaign and spreading the word about the advanced reader copies. And that really helped get the word out there too. So
Mm.
just had to give one more plug for another
Yes.
non-sponsored resource.
Yeah.
Was that
Shout out the
the
Nerd
nerd?
Fam.
The Nerd Fam. Yes.
Amazing.
Shout out.
Yes.
Shout out. We love that.
Shout.
Shout out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, your freaking cover, it just stands out. It's just so cool. And it feels so different too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just don't see very many covers that look like that. So shout out to everybody that did
Thank
this.
you.
So
Okay,
gorgeous.
now I want to get into this safe darkness. Can you tell our listeners what it's about?
Yes, I will give you the quick pitch. So, The Safe Darkness is a romantic dystopian fantasy that follows a 30-year-old disabled woman who is one of 10 evicted from their underground haven to hunt the threat above. And it
Hmm.
has chronic migraine representation, circadian rhythm magic, a romantic subplot with touch deprived yearning, and a sun daddy.
Yeah,
Sun daddy me
sold.
up.
We love sun daddy.
We are sold. We are. Do you have
I
character art? Have I seen? Do you have it?
do.
Okay. I don't
I
know if I've seen
do.
it. I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have.
I have like I could do a little
Yes, please.
tease.
Yes,
I can
please.
do a little
I heard Sun Daddy and
tease.
I was like, do we have art?
We sure do. Oh man, I literally have 20,000 photos in my phone. That's
Yeah. No,
We are
it's
thirsty
okay.
for
Yeah.
sun daddy.
It's yeah.
why do I have so many? Oh, we found him. We found him. Okay. Let me do this. Then we'll do this.
Oh my God,
Oh
yes, I
yeah.
did see that. Hot.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Yes,
love him.
we
Yes.
do. We really
We
do.
sure do. And there's
We
more art coming on the way.
Oh, you heard it here. More art coming. I
It's
freaking love it.
addicting. Getting
Yes.
art made of your characters,
It
it's a
really
rush.
it really freaking is.
Yes.
I just got Riley Quinn. She has done my art for a few of my books and she
Yes,
kills it every time. And so
she
I've
does.
commissioned her again for my fourth book. So I
Yeah.
love character art. It's so good. It
Oh,
saves
I
the
love that.
So
day.
good. Well, I do see our time is like evaporating away. I feel like I wanna like go to like the deep question of like what's been the hardest part of this journey for you, do you think so far?
Oh. um, there's been a lot of fears that I've struggled with throughout it all. Like I said last year, there were several points throughout last year where I was at my lowest in terms of my confidence and in terms of feeling very alone. And I learned that you kind of sometimes have to be your biggest cheerleader and just trust that if you work hard that it's bound to happen for you. It just might take time and you can't necessarily predict that time. But you can certainly take action steps. And every single day that you're taking an actionable step forward is another step forward. And that is progress worth celebrating. And so celebrating every step has helped immensely. Instead of telling myself, I haven't achieved this specific goal, it's, wow, we've made this much progress already.
Mm.
And whether that's drafting, like instead of telling myself, I only wrote 12 words today, it's those are 12 words that didn't exist yesterday. Instead of telling myself, I haven't gotten this many reviews yet, it's these people have decided to already leave a review. They took time out of their day to leave a review, and that's amazing that they decided to do that. So yeah, it's a lot of I think I tend to be very ambitious, which can be helpful to an extent, but it can also be very harmful in terms of when you don't when
Mm.
you put a date or a number to when you need to achieve a certain goal by and you don't hit it and you're like, whoa, what now? Um, no, and so I'm trying to just celebrate what is.
Man,
Girl, Angela and
yeah.
I are feeling this like arrows to our, I feel us both like arrows to our soul. Like everything you're saying is so, so important. And I think like anyone who's doing this long term is going to resonate deeply with that because, yeah, I cannot it's like critically rewiring your brain. It's so like it changes everything if you're like, oh, this didn't happen. Or if you like actually like think about what you have done and how amazing it is. It's so such a like important thing to remember every day.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, like as you were speaking, I felt my soul lifting and rising.
Yeah,
It was
same.
so beautifully said. And it's so true because there's so many hard things about being a writer, being an author, being a creative. And you get so many no's, you're torn this way and that way. And so getting to celebrate all the things is so huge, especially like because we all have these ideas of what success means and what I need to get to be successful. And that just doesn't happen in the ways that we think it should happen. And so
yeah,
being grateful and being like, well, I got this many reviews is so huge. It's such a good mindset shift. So thank you for that.
yeah.
For that reminder, for that slap in the face, for that spiritual lift. Thank you.
A very gentle slap in the face.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But I see our time
I know.
is up. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Congratulations. We
Yeah.
are so proud of you.
So
And
proud.
I hope everybody buys your book in the entire world.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I think the world of you guys. And this feels like a very emotional thing because I remember back in 2022 when I first started writing my first book, I found Of the Publishing Persuasion podcast, and it was keeping me company throughout my entire career. And it's a surreal thing to be able to be on this side of things and also to just have gotten to know you guys more and more over the years. I think the world of you. You guys are all you both are insanely talented and insanely kind. So I love you
Love,
both.
love you too.
Gonna like literally cut us off.
Of the publishing persuasion, of the publishing persuasion.